What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today we're going to be talking about how we can actually change the way dealerships operate. Now, our last few videos, we talked a lot about the negative things that dealerships do, but I want to talk about something positive this video. I want to talk about some of the things that we're going to do to hopefully change the automotive industry. There's a lot of things that are going on right now, and there's going to be some regulations coming down the road, and so we wanted to be the first to implement a lot of the things that people are talking about. So make sure you stay tuned to the whole video because we are going to be opening up our own dealership. We're going to start in Vegas, move out to Phoenix, LA, and then hopefully nationwide to see how it goes. But it's gotten to the point where I've been thinking about doing this, and over some thinking over this weekend, I decided to go ahead and pull the string and make it happen. So I actually just signed my lease about an hour ago. So that's why I wanted to make this video. But we have a lot of good things to cover, so let's go ahead and get into it. But before we do, if you could do me a huge favor and gently squeeze the like button for the YouTube algorithm, it helps me find more amazing people like yourselves that enjoy automotive content. Also, please consider subscribing. We do post twice a week, so make sure you click the notification bell so you're notified of all of our videos. And once again, follow us on Instagram at Lucky Lopez, and let's get into the video. So on my channel, we talk all the time about the crazy stuff that dealerships do. And so I'm going to go over all the things that I'm going to do to make my dealership different from everybody else's and hopefully affect a positive change in the automotive industry. Now, as I'm listing off my ideas, if you guys have any questions or if you have an idea yourself of something that I can do to make the dealership better or make your car purchasing process better, please leave it in the comments section below. It means a lot. And even if your idea is a little bit different from mine, that's okay. We can have conflicting opinions and still be friends. The whole point of this channel is to share information and hopefully grow something positive around the automotive industry, because we want to be as transparent as possible for not only the dealer but the consumer as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. So one of the first things I'm going to be doing that I'm totally against, that I freaking hate, which is actually up in Congress right now, is putting the real price of the car. I've talked about this on several of my videos. I absolutely hate the way dealerships do business now. If your car is $30,000, it's $30,000. Do not put $30,000 plus 2,000 fees plus 1,000 destination fee plus this fee, and just, it drives people nuts. There's nothing worse than going in there thinking, okay, well, it's $30,000. I can go ahead and maybe negotiate it to 29. And then they get there, oh, sorry, sir, it's 37. It's not 30. And so, there's an old rule in sales. You can always negotiate down. You can't negotiate up. So if a customer sees the price at 30 and he's thinking, okay, well, maybe I'll offer 29, I'll feel good, the dealer will feel good, and we'll both make a sale. And now the customer goes in there thinking 29 when you're really going to hit him with like 34, 35, $37,000. So when it comes to car gurus, auto trader, all that stuff, I am not spending a freaking dollar with any of those clowns. All my marketing is going to be social media based, and it's going to be 100% transparent. The only thing we're not going to include is the sales tax, because we don't know how much they're putting down, if you're using a trade-in for whatever else, but all the other fees will be included in every single sales price. I believe that is critical to building some sort of honest rapport with the customer that's coming in that doesn't know you. Next thing we're going to be doing is every single car is going to come with a 90-day warranty. Now, the reason why I want to do this is because a lot of people get stigmas about used cars. Now, if I sell a used car, a lot of times we don't have a crystal ball. It may work perfectly. I could service the car. Everything is great. But if it starts leaking water, the radiator goes, maybe a check engine light comes on, 90 days from now, stuff like that. It's very hard for people to actually control that in a lot of used car dealers, and they get a lot of grief. Now, one thing that I'm going to tell you from the dealer side is that we always have to, pick our battles. If it's a few dollars, I would rather give the customer a few bucks, fix the problem, and send them on their way. They're happy, I'm happy, and we're good to go. But I know a lot of dealers can't financially afford this. So sometimes if they said yes to every person that came back, in 3 months with like some sort of little issue, you're talking hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every single week they got to put out. And unfortunately, when you buy a used car, it is as is. So what we want to do to hedge our bet a little bit is to actually put a 90-day warranty on every single vehicle. Now, I'm telling you this as a dealer, but as a consumer, you need to know that if I add anything extra, there's always going to be a small extra price. To get one of these white label programs from some of these warranty companies is $150 per car. To me, I would be much happier paying an extra $150 on every single car, knowing that they got a 90-day warranty. If anything happens, their motor goes, transmission goes, anything major, that's no big deal. If it's something small like an O2 sensor, maybe a window regulator went out, then I'll just send my guys out there to fix that. But that's one of the things I want to offer because I want people to feel secure and happy in their purchases. Now, that's from the purchasing standpoint side. Now we're going to get into the actual financing standpoint. Now, we're going to have our own banks. My goal is to do buy here, pay here, and we want to hold all of our notes. We're still looking for either a hedge fund, private money, whatever else. We need about $5 to $10 million to create our own loan portfolio. So this way we can start lending out our own money to our consumers. And we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to be offering various types of payments to help compensate for people's, interests, consumers' protection, and also to help people not fall behind. We do weekly payments, bi-weekly payments, and monthly payments. If you do weekly payments and you have bad credit, this will help lower your interest rate. This will help you make your payments a little bit more affordable. The dealership will be more comfortable giving you a more expensive car if you're making weekly payments. This is how we kind of build the difference. We also want to offer terms where you can actually buy down your interest, just like with the mortgage and with some other loans. If you have, let's say, really bad credit, but you're doing good, you want to put a bigger down payment, we can talk about actually lowering your interest rate due to your down payment and also your payment structure. So we want to give the customer more flexible options. So this way it fits their lifestyle and helps them set themselves up for success a little bit better. Now, once we get about 200 customers under the books, we're going to be offering to actually report to the credit bureaus. It's going to take us 6 months to get that going, but that is our goal. Is eventually, once we get enough people, everybody that's from day one and on will be all that information will be reported to the credit bureau and go back up to 2 years. So this way, if you purchased a car, you made your payments, and then we finally get on board with the credit bureaus, you'll actually get all that credit history. Because my goal is I want to keep you as a customer, but I also don't want to not help you establish credit. I want you to build credit so this way you could buy a house for your family. You could, have a future. We can get you financed through some of the credit unions to get you maybe a much better car for lower interest rate. These are some of the things that dealers don't do. They don't want to help you build credit, and they don't want to get you out of the rat race of buy here, pay here. We're going to be completely different. Our goal is to help build this so this way we can help you become successful, so this way we can become more successful. Now, a lot of dealers are going to look at me and wonder, well, what the hell? Why are you going to do this? You're going to sell off your own customer base. I believe the way we're going to be doing business is going to change a lot of things. I want to help consumers for reals. And then I don't want to sell just one person. My goal is to sell everybody. I literally want to be the McDonald's of the car business. I know that sounds funny and it sounds weird, but stay tuned. I'll give my explanation because, when you saw when Carvana came out on the industry, back in the day, we saw them and we knew that they were going to fail. I mean, just the way they were operating. They didn't hire any QEs, which are qualified employees. They were buying cars for way too much, and they were more worried about expanding and market share than actually building a solid infrastructure. Ours is the complete opposite. I do not want to move until I've been open for at least 1 year in Vegas. So my goal is 1 year in Vegas. Once we build our portfolio, once we build our processes, once we build our loans, everything else, then we're going to go ahead, bundle that up, and then we're going to open up in Phoenix, which is the next state. And then about 6 to 8 months after that, then we're going to open up in LA. My goal is to build a structure so this way it doesn't fall apart. And also, another reason the Carvana failed is they didn't keep their financing in-house. When you sell cars at a small margin, unless you're getting the interest rates from the actual loans, you are destined to fail. That's why Carvana loses so much money, because they'll sell a car, take a hit, but they'll sell it to the finance company, and the finance company makes all the interest. But their finance company is a separate entity from their actual dealership. Ours, we want to keep everything in-house. So this way, no matter what happens, the company is making money. It's making a small amount of money upfront from the actual sale, but it's continuing to make money from the interest and the loans down the road. And then as we expand, we can bundle up a couple $100,000 or $1 million of those loans, sell them off, which will fund our new enterprise, our new location, and stuff like that. So that's how we're going to be able to build this and keep it solid and always have cash flow, not being out begging for money on the stock market or trying to get crazy loans from these venture capital firms that are going to basically put you in the debt like what they're at right now with Apollo. So we're going to build it slow, build it structured, build it correctly, so this way we have no problems, no headaches, no faults. And next thing, where it's all about service. A lot of these dealers focus on sales. Sales, 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 sales. Bullshit. You need to have a very good service department. Our new location is going to have over 24 bays. Our whole goal is, as we build out, we're going to have a central location that's going to send all of our repos to this location. We're going to fix them. We're going to service them. I ain't taking shit to the auction. We're going to go ahead, fix it up, and resell it on our lot to mitigate risk and to also maximize our earning potential. A lot of these dealers like Carvana, Drive Time, CarMax, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, all these companies get repos. They basically just take them to the auction and then get rid of them. Sometimes they can need minor repairs, sometimes they need major repairs, but they're losing thousands of dollars on every single car because they don't manage the repos. That's one of the things that we're going to do to help mitigate the risk, and also helps not only our dealerships save money, our portfolio perform, but it also helps the consumer, because a lot of people don't know this. If I sell you a car for $20,000 and let's say the motor blows up and you just leave the car on the side of the road, I can go buy it. I can pick it up, fix it, spend a few dollars on it, sell it to myself. And that deficiency, that money from you owing like 20 grand to me selling it at the auction, only making 5,000, I could fix it. And maybe the deficiency is only $2,000 to $3,000. So you don't have to go after people for collection for more money. It could be for less money. So you're not putting them into debt. And a lot of times we actually make more money on the repos. So most consumers probably won't actually get any type of collections or any type of deficiencies on their credit. And this will help the consumer standpoint, where this way it'll give them options to maybe give the car back if there's some sort of issue and we can work out some sort of deal. I want to be as proactive as possible. A lot of dealers are reactive. We want to be proactive. We're going to be calling consumers. That's one thing we're going to do is, if we give you a loan and you're paying on it, and I have to see what the laws are here in Nevada, but one of my goals is, if you're struggling to make like a $600 car payment, I would like to take that car back in on trade and get you a cheaper car, so this way you could afford those maybe $300 payments. And then once you're in a financial place where you're good to go and you can upgrade your car and you could prove that you're doing everything successful, we can go ahead and upgrade you. But I want to allow people to step down on vehicles, because to me that's important, because sometimes their financial situations change. Maybe they have an idea, and this way we don't have as many repos. I'd rather keep the customer happy, get them into a car. Yes, you lose sales tax when you do this, but we'll have to let the consumer know. But at the same point, you're not ruining the customer's credit. You're helping them out, and you're putting them in a situation where they can succeed and hopefully purchase another vehicle from you. So there's a lot of really great ideas that we have planned, but service, like I said, is very important. We got to have that. Every vehicle needs to be serviced. And one thing that we're going to do is we're going to service it, because we're going to be holding the loan on this. Now, this is for the consumers. Most dealers do very light recon, which is repairs. They only fix the very, very minimal, because they just need it to last for 30 to 60 days. Because if they fix it and they sell it, it'll go to a bank. The bank will fund the deal, and the dealership's out of it. I'm using my own money, or we're using our lines of credit, our loans, so everything goes back to our own pockets. So my goal is to make sure that that car does not break down on you. So if the brakes are at 30%, we're just going to go ahead and change them, because we want to make sure that whatever we can do to offset the risk of having maybe a breakdown or something where you can't afford your payment, we want to take that out of the equation. So we want to make sure we give you a car that's mechanically sound, where you can get around, where this way, you could pay your payments, not have any issues. Maintenance is whatever, spark plugs, brakes, that stuff's going to happen. But we want to spend like if the radiator looks like it's leaking, let's change it. If the water pump, we're at 100,000 miles, let's go ahead and change the water pump and timing belt. It's a couple $100, but I'll tell you what, now that customer has nothing to worry about for the next 2-3 years. I would rather do preventative maintenance like this and spend that extra dollars, because I know that will help our portfolio perform. And one thing that you guys don't know about is, when dealerships' portfolios perform, everybody and their grandma offers you more money to lend, to get bigger. And as these banks and hedge funds start giving us more money to lend, that gives us more of a, opportunity to get money at a lesser rate or less fees. So if we get cheaper money, that means cheaper interest rates when it comes to the consumer. So now we can offer maybe instead of double-digit interest, maybe on good customers, single-digit interest. So that's our whole goal, is to build this, so this way it's a constant flowing system that's self-perpetuating. It's helping building our portfolio, making the customers happy and eating up market share. Now, a lot of people are going to ask me, well, how are you going to compete with all these franchise stores and all these independents? Independents, not to sound cocky, I'm not even going to have to worry about competing with them. Every independent dealership I know here does the business the exact same way. They all rely on the same banks. They have the same cars, same everything. Ours is going to be completely different. We're not going to use any of their banks. We're using everybody from different states. We're using our own money, and we're using our own programs. How are we going to compete with franchise stores? Simple. As these franchise stores start, like I said, they're keeping the prices high. These people can't afford these cars. They're going to have to come to us. We're going to be able to give people approvals based on their income and their down payment, not to their credit. So a lot of these people now that have slow pays, that maybe have been in and out of the job because of the whole pandemic, they're going to be able to get cars from us that normally they traditionally can't get from a regular franchise store. And then on top of that, I have accounts with multiple companies to get repos. So I'll be getting cars at a much cheaper price than pretty much everybody here in Vegas. So I'm not even worried about that. But my biggest thing is I want to make sure I get quality, talented people. Once we get the actual contract back and it's signed, I'll make an official announcement on here, and then we're going to start hiring. But I'm super excited. I'm going to be showing you guys the breakdown of our dealership. It's pretty big. I don't want to say the exact size, but it's got, like I said, 24 shop bays. It's got 2 sales office, a 2-story building, and it's over 2 acres. So just to kind of give you a breakdown. So it's super cool. It's in a great area. I'm very, very excited. And I think that this is going to be something really good, especially not only for the local economy, but for also our automotive industry and also for YouTube itself. Because once I get this dealership, I'm going to actually bring back my training program, because for me to go and travel around and train dealerships, it was fun, but it's very expensive and it's time consuming. Once I have my own physical location here, I'm going to be offering training classes where you guys pay a fee. You can fly down, stay in Vegas for a week. I can show you exactly how I operate. You can see how my dealership flows. You can copy all this stuff. I'll bundle all these things up and give it to you. It'll be much easier for me to do it that way. Plus, I think for the content side, like I go around and I buy cars all the time, and I show people sometimes on the channel and also on my Instagram. That's why I say follow me on Instagram, because I show this stuff every single day. And still to this day, I always get people, oh, I can't buy any cars, Lucky. Everything's too expensive. I don't know. You're lying. You can't get cars for this cheap. We literally show you either on this channel or on my Instagram. Hey, we went to Craigslist. We bought this car. We went to OfferUp. We bought this car. Facebook Marketplace. I don't buy at the auctions. You knuckleheads are still looking at the auctions. If you have no money, don't buy anyways. If you have cash, buy outside the auctions, because everybody that's at the auction has lines of credit and they're willing to overpay and they're a bunch of retards. So do not buy from there. But this dealership will give me the opportunity to actually show, I call it proof of concept. I buy cars, I flip cars, we wholesale. That's fine. But I want to show you guys the operations of actually financing, the operations of training your salespeople, how to read credit reports, how to actually do all this stuff. I think this will be a major factor when it comes to learning good processes and good procedures, because that's what I believe makes a good dealership and a great dealership. Completely different, because I know a lot of good people that are out there that are great dealers, but they just don't have the process down. They've never learned it. There's no classes. There's nobody to teach them. Well, hopefully once we get this dealership, this is the one small thing that if I start teaching what we implement and how we do it, hopefully other people will follow. And this is how I believe we can positively affect a change in our actual dealership industry, which I think will be huge. Now, as a consumer, you guys are probably looking like, well, I don't get it, Lucky. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But I'm telling you, from a dealer standpoint, it is a heaven sent to have somebody that you can help bounce ideas off of, that you can ask questions. Because if any dealer's watching this, they'll tell you, when you ask questions like, how do I do this? What do I do this? Dealers, the DMV won't tell you shit, but if you mess up, they'll be there to find you. Other dealers don't like to share information because they think you're going to steal their business, and we can't be friends because we're competitors. Bullshit. There's more than enough pieces of pie out in the world. There's more than enough cars out there. There's enough asses to fit in every single seat. We could work together, change the industry, affect something positively. And that's what my whole goal of this dealership is getting. And if you don't believe me, hopefully once we sign the lease, we start bringing people over, I'm going to be filming all this stuff. Because a lot of times when I do training, I'm not able to film because it's they're paying for training. It's not mine. So I can't film them and force them to let me put them on camera to show them. But if you're at my dealership, my location, and I'm doing my training with you guys, then I can start filming that and show you guys how it actually changes people, how it affects people's lives, how people can make income, how people can be successful, how can people do things, how they can change the mentality of being a shady asshole dealer to somebody that's fun, nice, and loves to enjoy selling cars. Because even though we talk about all the negative things in our business, all the bad stuff, there is so much I love about the car business. When you sell somebody their first car, you're a part of their memory for life. Still to this day, when I go like to Walmart, I go grocery shopping, people don't remember me from YouTube. They remember me from when I sold them their car. Oh, I remember I bought my car from you like 4, tax seasons ago. Oh, my girlfriend bought a car from you, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I remember your commercials. That stuff means a lot. Now you're a part of somebody's history. But then you also get the enjoyment of seeing them almost every 2-3 years purchasing a new car. I've had some people where they come every single year. They buy a cheap car, $5,000 cash car, they drive it into the ground, they come back, trade it in, I give them a few $1,000s for it, give them another car, they drive that one into the ground, they come back. That's just part of the industry. And I do miss that. I do miss like helping consumers and talking to people and doing all this fun stuff. This is one of the fun things that makes our industry so great. And I want to get back to that. There were professional salesmen. There were quality dealers, but a lot of this thing got thrown to the wayside when all these automotive corporations like AutoNation, Sonic Auto Group, they took all the soul out of the dealership. And now it's just a mindless zombie that sells cars. It's not the mom and pops that's worried about the consumer, that wants to help the customer and build that relationship because they want you to be a buyer of their brand for the next 10, 20, 30 years. They don't care. They want to bury you in a car, make as much money, and kick your ass down the road, and then hopefully they find another sucker next year or next week. So we want to change that. But anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry I rambled a little bit. I'm going to be posting some really great stuff. Make sure you stay tuned. If you have any comments or questions, please put in the comment section below. If you have any ideas about what I should do to my dealership, go for it. Put them down there. Also, I'm going to be going to the Philippines for about 3 weeks. So we're going to be doing some interviews with dealerships, auto shops, and some other things to check out the car market there. So if anybody's in the Philippines watching this, reach out to me. I'm looking for more people to interview. But we're going to be doing content the whole time I'm up there about the actual automotive industry, not only here in the United States, but also over there. But once again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next video.